Hi everybody, so we're going to make maki rolls, and I wanted to show you some from Key Food, the grocery store right here, which is really nice actually, because this California roll is only $4.99. I always get these from my kids. They love it. And you can see the California roll has cucumber, avocado, and this imitation crab meat, which is really white fish pressed together with red dye. And so that's the most popular Japanese sushi roll everyone thinks of. These are actually called maki rolls. Sushi is raw fish over rice, or in the case of shrimp, cooked shrimp over rice. The maki rolls are the rolls that are like this. This is an outside roll, and this is where the rice is on the outside of the seaweed and the food is rolled up. There are sometimes rolls where you have the seaweed on the outside and the rice inside, like a kappamaki, which is a cucumber roll that is traditionally prepared with the seaweed on the outside. And here we have my favorite, spicy salmon roll, and inside you have raw salmon, and it's spicy. It has a spice mixture, and there is avocado, and again, it's another outside roll. It has the rice on the outside with the seaweed on the inside, and usually you have, if you go to a Japanese store and get takeout, or if you go to any Japanese grocery store, they usually have this prepackaged maki rolls. It comes with a package of soy sauce, your chopsticks, here's some pickled ginger, and the green wasabi. That's the spicy, hot, green horseradish. And it packs a punch, so be careful. You only need a tiny little bit. But anyhow, this is a nice way to have a quick lunch, and it's really good. Now, I love getting it here at Key Food because actually upstate, the grocery stores don't always have sushi, and then the one that does have sushi is insanely expensive. So the sushi, the California roll up in Monroe at Stop and Shop is $6.99, and it only gives you 6 pieces of sushi instead of, here we have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? So that's obviously, this is a better bargain. All right, so hopefully we're gonna make some maki rolls ourselves. I'm just gonna use cucumber and carrot, and that'll be a way to make our maki rolls. I'll show you how to do that. Hi everybody, welcome to the kitchen. This morning we're gonna make cucumber carrot sushi rolls. So and these are called maki rolls actually. Maki is the this type of roll where you have seaweed wrapping around the ingredients. Sometimes you have a reverse outside roll, like the California roll. And so these are all different types of maki rolls. We're gonna make kappamaki, which is cucumber, and carrot, and we can put the two together. Then also I have this beautiful Daikon radish. This is pickled Daikon. And I got this at Sunrise Mart, right here on 9th by Astor Place. I like to go there to get my Japanese ingredients. Sunrise Mart's been there for a long time. I think I've been going there for over 20 years. But I also got my wasabi and ume Shisho leaves, which are a very pungent herb. And I got the kikkoman soy sauce. Now I got low sodium because there's quite a bit of sodium in soy sauce. Our pickled ginger and our rice vinegar. Now the rice vinegar I actually got at Key Food, and I didn't have the sushi seasoning, but this is the difference. Rice vinegar that's seasoned has sugar in it. So if you look at the ingredients, you'll see rice vinegar, invert sugar, and salt. Okay, so seasoned rice vinegar is very similar to sushi seasoning. So my recipe I had, when I originally made this, I had a bottle of sushi seasoning, and I didn't have it anymore. I thought I had it at home. But the Key Food rice vinegar that I got is already seasoned, so I can just use that. So I'll have 5 tablespoons of this rice vinegar that's seasoned. Sushi seasoning is just rice vinegar that is already cooked with salt and sugar. So that'll be okay. Now, the other thing is that the only Oriental style rice that they had at Key Food was this beautiful jasmine Thai rice. So I got it, but the grain is a bit too long. I was hoping I could use it, but once I got home and I saw the length of the sushi rice I had at home, I realized I better bring this in. So this is my sushi rice from home. Seka, this is a medium grain rice, and this is from Japan, it's imported. And this I got actually at a Japanese food store out in Forest Hills. But you can see the difference. The grain is very short, okay? They're a little fat short, and this grain is long and thin. And this is the type that we need to make the sushi. It helps stick it together and works very well when you're rolling it with the seaweed. Now this is a sushi mat, and of course you cover it in plastic wrap, so if you get food stains, you just remove the plastic wrap and put on a new one. And we have our nori seaweed and full sheet, and this is usually for kappamaki, the half sheet, so that way the cucumber goes right in the middle. I like to make outside rolls. I find it fun to just put the rice down here and then put the seaweed. It's a little tricky doing it the other way. It does take some skill. I haven't made these in a couple of years, unfortunately, so I hope I'm not going to disappoint. But it is lots of fun, and you know, it does take a while. The first step we have to do is get our sushi rice ready. And so before I do that, let me just show you this. This is a cool implement. See that? Those ridges here? So when you use this is a peeler, but it's a specialty peeler. So these ridges, so when you peel it, it juliennes whatever you're peeling. And I like to make my carrot rolls and my kappamaki rolls with julienned pieces of carrot and cucumber. I find that's a little more easy to chew instead of the larger pieces falling apart. I'm usually making sushi for the kids because they love it, and when they're eating one of those big chunks of cucumber or avocado or anything like that, it tends to fall right out. And I took them to a Japanese restaurant for lunch on Martin Luther King Day when we had that extra Monday off, and our lunch bill came to $50. So obviously I want to try to make sushi at home because a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old and myself having lunch for $50 is a bit expensive. So it was a once in a while treat, but they do love sushi and they want to eat it all the time. So we better start making some more often. All right, so we need 2 cups of rice. I measured this at home. So this is our 2 cups of rice. And what we need to do is we need to actually rinse it and clean it. We want to clean off the extra starch. So we are going to just put this in our saucepan, and I'm going to rinse it with cold water. So I already have my strainer and a bowl there to hold the strainer. We're rinsing the sushi rice, and we want to clean it off. I think I spilled some dill into my bag by accident. So we're going to put this in and wash our rice. Now I have to do that 5 times, which is good because I got to rinse off all the dill I spilled into that. Okay, so I have peeled my carrot. Remember, don't throw these out. We're going to save this for any vegetable stock or chicken stock we need to make. We'll just put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in the freezer. And I took the biggest carrot out of our bag, and now I'm going to show you how to use this. So hopefully I can do it with one hand. When you are moving this, press down, and you see, just like a peeler, you're using it, but it's going to make these nice, fine little shreds. Okay, so that makes it much easier to put into the sushi and much easier to eat it when you have these nice little thin strands. So I'm going to shred a whole bunch of carrot that way. Okay, so this has been sitting for 25 minutes and soaking. I already rinsed it 5 times, and I got to strain this off. And then I'm going to add it, and we'll add 2 3/4 cups of water and get this going. So that's our 2 cups of water rinsed 5 times. And now I'm adding our 2 3/4 cups of water. We want to bring it to a boil and then simmer it for about 25 minutes to cook. Now, if you have a handy thing called a rice cooker, it's a lot easier than doing all these different steps. Okay, so now I'm going to let this come to a boil. All right, and then I'm going to cook it for about 25 minutes. All right, so our rice is rapidly boiling, and I'm going to lower the heat down very low. We want to bring it to a simmer, and I'm going to cover it, and we'll set the timer now for 25 minutes. I'll set it for 20 minutes and check. I don't want it to burn. So I don't have a set cover, so I'm just using that frying pan because we make do with what we have. Here we have our carrot already cut up, nice long julienne strands. And so now I have my cucumber, and I'm wondering, well, how much do I need? So let's see. We want our cucumber strands as long as this, because when we make our roll, that's how we're gonna do it. So it's easy. We're just gonna cut our cucumber about the same length as our nori sushi sheet, and then I'm gonna peel it, and then I can use the julienne tool on this too. So I better stop recording so I don't cut myself. All right, so I cut this and I peeled it lightly, all right? We don't want to peel too much because we need to use the cucumber. We can't use the area, the inside, because of these seeds that are in here, and it's too loose and thin. We only have this space to use. So just peel it lightly. And unlike the carrot peelings, we're not going to save these. These are bitter, and we're going to put them, now if you were in my garden upstate, I would put this in our compost heap and let them decompose in our compost heap to enrich our compost. But if you don't have a compost bin, then actually in the city you can. There are locations where they have composting. So you could have a bag of kitchen scraps that are compostable in your refrigerator. And in Kew Gardens, it was Thursday mornings. So once a week, you could drop them off at the recycling compost bin area. And I think I just saw one here on Houston near the subway the other day. There was a big garbage can with a sign for composting. So there are places in the city where you can recycle your vegetable scraps and make it into compost. So I'll set those aside and I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and take them home to put them in my compost bin upstate. But for here, I'm going to use our specialty zester, specialty grater tool. Not a grater tool. It's a specialty peeler, sorry, and a julienne's the cucumber. And let me see if I can do this one-handed to show you it working. So see again, I'm getting these beautiful thin julienne strands, all right? So I'm gonna do a whole bunch of these and get them on my plate